They got me feeling like I'm academics.
Text message.
Let me pause this. We'll get back to it. You know why I wanted to lead in? Like, there's two shows that's killing it right now when it comes to sports. I don't even really watch ESPN like that. Of course, shout out to Nightcap and everything Shannon Sharpe got going on, and Stephen A. But it's Gilbert Arenas' show. And of course, for me personally, man, I love It Is What It Is. Because really, it is what it is. Now, shout out to my man Mace. Shout out to Killer Cam. They always give a real good perspective that's not really in this. It's not in, they don't give an industry take. They still talk like niggas in the barbershop, and I like that type of conversation. They don't talk like HR is watching the clip, and I like that. Mace made some very interesting points, and I have something to add on to it. Let's play this.
For him to offer $10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no $10 million if I know I didn't do anything.
Let me stop you, Mace. I wish I was on the show with y'all. I got one better. This girl is selling her booty for $50K. Still a lot of money, but she ain't see $10 million in this lifetime or the next. If she turns down $10 million, what does that tell you? Fuck what he offered. Because I could come, I could say, yo, he only offered a 10 because he was about to get 100. If she turned down the 10, what does that tell you? Now, some might say, oh, no, she got much more. No. Because here's the thing, especially when you got money or whatever, when you deal with somebody that don't got money, you think she's going to turn down a guaranteed 10 to go gamble for 50? She's going to take the guaranteed 10. Come on now. Like, people, use your brain. First of all, she probably ain't going to get the 50. But let's say she gets 30. It's going to take several years, dragged out. You got split it with your lawyers, public embarrassment. They're offering you 10 on the humble privately. Now, Mace is going to say something that's going to add on to my next point. Let's keep it going.
And I think the only reason that $10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the $10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. Just.
Thank you. Let me flush out that point because they get a little silly with it. When it says the $10 million didn't work because the pimp needs his cut. Maybe the $10 million didn't work because whoever may have put this woman up to it, not saying it ain't true, but the quote-unquote pimp is somebody who's backing her. They don't only want $10 million. They want blood. Now, we're going to get into who could have these incentives or these reasons. But all I'm saying, a chick who does OnlyFans, you offer her $10 million, even if she thought she could get 50. I think she might take that. The mere fact they played hardball till it got to the public and now she's gambling the dice because she may never get anything tells me whoever is in her corner is saying 10 mil. Nah, we good. That doesn't seem like it's coming from her. She don't got a pot to piss in. Whoever is backing her is saying, nah, 10 ain't enough. That's not her saying that. It's whoever's backing her. Do you get what I'm saying, Chad? Whoever is backing her is saying, no, 10 no. Because she don't got a pot to piss in. $10 million is going to change her life. You think she's going to turn down a guaranteed 10 to gamble? Would y'all? If I give you 10 right now, if I give you $10 million right now, but you have a 40% chance of getting, say, $30 million, would you say, I'm going to risk the guaranteed 10 for the 40%, or let's say 50%. Yeah, it's a 50-50. Yep, for the 50% chance of winning 30, or are you going to say, nah, give me the 10, nigga. It's $10 million. You don't have nothing. You're going to take $10 million. Unless you got somebody who's backing you who to say, nah, trust me. No, we got this. Like, 10 million ain't nothing. 10 million is a lot to her. To whoever the pimp is, 10 million ain't nothing. Maybe. Maybe.
Just allegedly. I'm not saying it is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right? So if there's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing? I know this is why they flew me back in. They wanted to know my take. But listen, all jokes aside. If the girl said I want 10, this may be the lawyer, right? Just hypothetically, all of these things, right? And the guy who put her on to Shannon was like, you didn't even know him. I put you on him. You didn't even know who that was. You was asking about college.
You was asking about college.
Yeah, this.
Now, he's taking his theory to say whoever lined it up first put him on to Shannon. I don't think so. I think whoever, if there is this quote unquote pimp, whoever lined it up just found out who Shannon was fucking with and waited until shit got a little bit rocky and came on and swooped in. Ain't nothing worse than a woman's scorn. The reason why I don't think the pimp existed before, I think in this naivete mindset that she had, I think she would have had a child for him. I think if she was thinking about, oh, this is my lottery ticket, I think she wanted to cash in on the lottery ticket by having kids for him. I really think that. She was talking about kids all the time. I think she was down to have a child for him. If it was a real pimp that's doing this, they would have said to her, no, we're not doing that. She clearly wanted to try to anchor him down with a child. The pimp wouldn't tell you to go do that. I think the pimp or whoever is her backer swooped in, but probably became influential. Somehow found out about her, but became influential in her ear when they were going through it. That's the important thing. Okay?
This is your Thurgood Marshall right here. Him right there. For real? Yeah, that nigga worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10. And he was like, 10 is my 10. You got to put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed. I'm just telling you, I ain't been out the streets that long. I know this is how peace think. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody's watching this and you know that behavior, you just put it in the chat and say it's Mace lying. And then another thing I want to look at in this whole entire case, right? I heard something about 50 or 25,000 a cheek.
25,000 a cheek.
That's what she texted him. She need 25,000 per cheek.
What are you doing with a cheek to pay 25?
Again, we talked about that yesterday. The 25 per cheek was because she was having him pay for the apology of fucking the girl on Instagram Live. She asked for 50. He was being slow with the 50. You know, Uncle Shay Shay, he got them big thumbs. He couldn't type quick enough. She sent him the PayPal. He couldn't get the, Uncle Shay Shay. Like, he couldn't get to that too quickly. So she was trying to expedite the process. She sent him a nude picture. She was split wide eagle. The ass was plump as, I got the full pictures now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shannon done leaked the picture. Well, I don't know if y'all got those. I got the full pics. It's crazy. I think Shannon saw that shit and nearly busted a blood vessel. Her ass fatter than a swamp possum, nigga. So she was waiting for the 50K, so she sent the shit spread eagle. The pussy look, oh my God, like a Georgia peach. And essentially, she said to him after that message, if you want this shit, send that bread. 25 per cheek. She already asked him for the 50K though.
If I hope all of this is untrue. If it is true, then they gotta do something about this. If ESPN can endure this, then they should give guys like Paul Pierce his job back.
Ooh. Mace is spitting now.
They should give Matt Barnes his job back.
Yep.
And even Michael Irvin, our own Michael Irvin, should get his job back.
Yeah.
If people are not just gonna, honor what they supposed to honor, to me, I believe that he should keep his job if he's innocent. But if he's guilty and ESPN keeps him, then ESPN need to give all those people their job back. But I don't really know how this is going to turn out.
That's very true.
And I saw really was the interview with Stephen A. when he was speaking of it. And I was watching it very carefully, Killer.
Stephen A. said something about this already?
Yeah, because Stephen A., he didn't stand with Shannon Sharpe like he stood with Jay-Z. When he heard about Jay-Z, he said, the guy I know, this is not true. When it came to Shannon, he was like, I wasn't there.
In a nutshell, yeah.
I gotta keep it ecstatic, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't there for Jay-Z neither. Word. You wasn't there for Jay-Z. You were not there for Jay-Z, but you went out on a limb because of the character of guy you know. So I'm not saying that you're wrong for that. I'm saying I would have thought that the same standard would be.
Now, let me speak a little bit more to this. Let's call a spade a spade. You see, everybody, this is why I say all these motherfuckers is phony. This is why you got no friends in this industry. People are always trying to judge a situation, wondering if you're completely done. Then secondly, they're also trying to judge a few other things. There's a few other variables you're judging, right? Like, for example, with Jay-Z, there was no, like, actual smoking gun where like, say, Jay-Z took a picture with the girl. None of these motherfuckers like anybody, even Stephen A. He don't like Jay-Z enough to be like, oh no, I know his character, I'm gonna vouch for him that much if there was like certain shit. My bad, my landscapers, I could hear them. The point is this. None of these guys fuck with each other enough. Like, for example, the reality with Shannon Sharpe, that's why nobody gonna stand with him, is that for you to stand with Shannon Sharpe really is to say, yo, bro, listen here, man. We all dealt with these little gold digging bitches before. We all had a chick that was, you tricking on because we older, because that's what it is. Like, we ain't gonna be green. Like, the nigga 50, she 20, he tricking a little bit, she putting that good old pussy on him. Check this out. Is he freaky? Yeah, he freaky. But she was into the freak shit too. Despite what you hearing on that audio, I don't think he really gonna choke her. Because y'all gotta show me a picture of or a video of her showing bruises of him choking. Well, even that, I ain't gonna lie. This is why this shit is kind of like fucked up. Because for anybody to stand with him, you have to give context to say, despite what I'm seeing on a video, an audio, or whatever, I believe my mans, and I believe this is a context. Number one, that's really putting your head on the guillotine for that. Because if something else come out, and I think also this idea, this is why Tony Busby don't have to release that sex tape. The mere fact they've described the sex tape to say it's a 30-second video of a nigga choking a chick out while he's fucking her, bruv, you can never defend. Like, bro, nobody's gonna be like, no, put the whole sex. Bro, it's just too much shit. And, a lot of that is Shannon Sharpe's fault in allowing all that stuff to happen. I guess maybe he trusted her like that. But there is a slight difference between Jay-Z and this. I don't think that Stephen A. would have said this if there was audio of Jay-Z or pictures or videos of Jay-Z with that victim. People like Stephen A. are constantly weighing relationships because they're never cool with no one. They only see you as a business opportunity. You're Shannon Sharpe, you're hot. Pause. You got a lot of buzz to you. You're a business opportunity until you're not. Jay-Z, you're not going to kick his back in because you think he's important in business until you know for sure everybody going to kick his back in. And the thing with the Jay thing, it was like, even though the accusations were damning, there was no hard proof coming. So it made it easier for these niggas to be like, you know what? And here's the thing. They curried some favor with Jay behind the scenes because now when Jay sees them or whoever the fuck he fucks with that might be cool with him, they're going to be like, yo, I appreciate you, how you spoke about me when I came up. So now they curried some favor with Jay. I think they would have gave Shannon Sharpe the same amount of grace, except the hard evidence is too blatant. Like, what are you going to say? Let's say they drop the sex tape where he's choking the shit out of her and fucking her. You're going to be like, oh, no, you know, we all be on that freaky shit. No, we don't. Not everybody likes to choke chicks out on some BDSM shit like that. No. Well, what about this audio? He says he's going to choke her outside of sex. You're going to look crazy after a while. So, yeah.
There, right? If for a guy you work with every day. Well, not every day, but, you know.
Damn near.
And I'm not taking a shot at Stephen A. It's just an observation.
It does sound like you was taking shots at Stephen A. From what you saying, I didn't see Stephen A. shit, but what I'm gathering, what you said from Stephen A. said, he basically said, I don't know the nigga like that.
Well, I ain't putting my hundreds of millions on the line for him. And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about.
All right. Now, a lot of people are bringing up a lot of different clips, chat. Not going to lie to you, okay? So, for example, these clips are coming back to haunt Shannon. For example, the Monique clip. And I don't know if we've played the Monique clip. I think we did last night. But the Monique clip, and then specifically a Katt Williams clip. Let me play the Monique clip. Where is the Monique clip at? I feel like we played that before. Played it last night, but we'll play it again. Also, we get to the Sky Bree stuff because, you know, those clips were like surfacing. You know, Sky Bree, we'll talk about it in a second. Monique Shannon. Here we go.
Dating. What advice? If somebody, if a group of women were in here and they're like, come on. Oh, they talk to us. How this dating thing? Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say? What you trying to say? Mo?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby need. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon need. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I know.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Dang.
When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah.
Prophetic. Shorty says she needed a dick at 11:30. Shannon says it's too late.
To go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's gonna say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's gonna get your energy back.
Okay. Now, what also came out, and by the way, as I was mentioning pimp, chat, do y'all think this is a coincidence? Is a few weeks ago this audio leaked, okay? So a few weeks ago this audio leaked, Now, let me give you some context. Apparently, this is Matt Barnes trying to solicit information about Shannon Sharpe on the behalf of Shaquille O'Neal, because Shaquille O'Neal supposedly doesn't get along with Shannon Sharpe. And listen to this clip. This came out weeks ago. Now, Matt Barnes and everybody else been saying this is AI, but from it's one of those if you know joints. It don't seem like it's AI. It's one of those, oh, you got somebody expose your voice notes or whatever to them, and now you're claiming it's AI. But it appears Matt Barnes, which I didn't know Matt Barnes was a do-boy, he was trying to solicit information or some type of info about Shannon Sharpe for Shaq. Listen to this.
I don't know if you're on this kind of time, but I was in a group chat the other day, or actually just yesterday, and Shaq said he's paying top dollar for any information on old boy. So, again, I don't know if you're on that kind of time or not, but Shaq is known to throw large sums of money around, so just want to put that out there. I am quiet. Hey, he said, please keep it quiet.
Now, some people think this was sent to me. Like, no, this was sent to someone else. They revealed it clearly.
He said that Shannon did some shit back to him a while back, and he's been off him. So that's why he's doing this. But please keep his name quiet.
Now, what does Shannon do? We're going to see in a second.
Have you guys talked? We haven't. Shaq feels the way he feels, and he's perfectly fine to feel that way. I said what I said. I still think Shaq is a phenomenal basketball player, even though, he minimized my career. I'm fine. The thing is,
so, and I'm going to play a little video about their back and forth, but it's very interesting. Shaq, Shannon Sharpe beef. Hold on.
Was Shannon Sharpe, episode 21, All the Smoke.
Okay, what is going? I'm trying to. Okay, this is part.
Hey guys, it's your love always the most dominating joker shows how smart.
So basically, Shannon Sharpe has said something, giving Jokic like some credit. And I think Shaq had said, by the way, it's really like a stupid beef. And it goes to show, and respectfully, bro, I know I ain't in these niggas' leagues. And I know Shaq got something against me, which is, it kind of stems, like, Shaq is really petty. Like, bro, I really have no idea why Shaq is like this. Like, he's really fucking petty. I'll tell you my situation with him. The nigga felt away because I posted the Home Depot girl that he DM'd, and he felt I was getting it hot for all his bitches. Shaq is 60. I didn't know Shaq had mad bitches. It was only after I talked to Tusi and all these. Shaq DM'd everybody's girl. Like, Shaq is trying to fuck, like, Ari and all these other girls. Like, Shaq think he's 25. You know what I mean? It's all good. I get it. You're a billionaire. You're one of the best basketball players. I get it. But he was mad that I posted it. He's like, yo, I remember he said, yo, Ak, you broke? Like, why you posting? And I'm like, dog, you're Big Diesel. Like, you're messaging a girl from Home Depot. Everybody's going to post it. He was really upset. I realized afterwards he DM'd like 3 girls I've dealt with. I ain't gonna lie. I was talking like some girl not too long ago. Like, he DM'd her too. Like, nigga, it was like 4 weeks ago. I was like, how the hell? The chick got 300 followers. Shaq is obsessed. But I get it. He doesn't like me for that. But I'm also a little confused because I'm like, bro, you're a billionaire. Like, what's going on with you? Whatever it is. So I only say that to show how petty it is, right? So apparently his issue with Shannon Sharpe is that Shannon Sharpe basically called out Shaq after Shaq said that, I believe he said that Shai Gilchrist or whatever his name is, Shy, whatever his dude's name is, guy that plays on OKC. I don't know how to really say his name. He said he deserves the MVP. Shannon Sharpe actually says, I actually don't like, Shaq must be like low-key hating on Jokic because Jokic deserves the MVP. And maybe Shaq is being a little bit of hater haterish because Shaq's a big man and Shaq game wasn't like Jokic. Shaq went off on him on a Instagram post. Ever since then, Shaq is wanting to get this guy. Now, I could only attest to what I could attest to. Remember, Shaq got mad at me for one Instagram post. First of all, Shaq was talking gangster to me in the chat. Nigga, his messages with me was like almost like, yo, nigga, you know I could get you touched. And the whole time I'm looking, I'm like, nigga, aren't you a cop? Like, he's a cop in like Palm Beach. He was talking mad gangster to me, and I was just like, bro, you're like big D, like you're my childhood hero. Like, calm it down. Shaq was talking so crazy to me. Nigga, I could even show you. I told Shaq, I said, bro, you're saying too much. Like, if you're really gangster like how you're talking, if something did happen to me, they're going to lock you up because of how you're threatening me in the DMs. Like, this is crazy. Just calm down, bro. Like, what are you doing? But that was a moment I was like, yo, the way how y'all look at Shaq is not how Shaq is. Because I've never interacted with him before. So I realized, and then I've learned other things afterwards. I learned that Shaq was allegedly getting extorted in LA when he was there. Shaq thought he was fucking with some Crips over there. Shaq's name came up in something like they're claiming he tried to put a hit on somebody. So Shaq really think he's gangster like that. And I didn't really believe none of that shit until, like, by the way, after me and him kind of got into it, because I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, because Shaq was like, now I'm going to see you, nigga. I'm going to see you. I'm going to get you touched. I'm like, what is Shaq talking about? Gilly from Gilly and Wallow, or $1 Million Worth, he called me and be like, yo, Ak, what'd you do to Shaq? He's calling niggas about you. And I'm like, Shaquille O'Neal? So apparently Shaq think he's a thug. I'm going to be honest with you. He does think he's a thug. And when I now look at like his history, Shaq was involved in a case where somebody got killed. Where because he was with the Lakers, he avoided getting charged because they're not trying to charge a star Laker player with allegedly putting a hit on a nigga, but they charged somebody for killing a nigga. And according to the word in the street, it was because that person Shaq wanted eliminated. So even then I'm processing, wait, Shaq is getting niggas clapped? Like, that's crazy. You get what I'm saying? But apparently Shaq is like tied in with the streets and all that shit. Whatever the fuck. I really don't give a fuck. The point is this. Shaq's a billionaire now. He's retired from basketball. He's on or TNT or whatever the fuck he's on. Bro, everybody loves you. Even niggas who hate you love you. The mere fact he's so petty, it's either he got too much money or there's some other issue going on. I don't really care to know. But when it came to the Shannon Sharpe shit, I was like, I thought it was just me because I know rappers don't like me for whatever reason. You get what I'm saying? But with the Shannon Sharpe shit, I'm like, wait, Shannon just disagreed with you and kind of like calls you a hater. How do you hate him that much? Because he went off on his tirade. This is what Shannon's about to read.
Ocho, everyone's family. Okay. Shaq, about the comments that I said last night.
By the way, if y'all think anything I'm lying, my nigga, listen, I could do a deep dive on it if y'all want. So somebody was acting like they had Shaq's sex tapes back in the day, okay? Or whatever the case. By the way, this also connects to Whack 100, right? There was supposed to be some extortion shit, Shaq murder for hire. Just search that. Bro, just search it. Look, the nigga testified, Shaq told me to kill people. Brother, I'm not making this shit up. So again, like, I remember when Shaq was talking so crazy, I'm like, what the fuck? So after I had to do a whole deep digging into Shaq's history, because even when I was talking to Gilly, Gilly was like, yo, Ak, I'm going to be honest with you. Shaq tapped in with the streets. I'm like, bro, we're talking about Superman, the nigga who like fucking is the big goofball at the NBA All-Star games, like dribbling like crazy, and we laugh at him and we love him. And they're like, no, he's tapped in. And I'm like, what? But I went into all his history. Shaq think he a street nigga. This is a fact. Shaq think he's a street nigga. And there's multiple cases. He hasn't, well, actually, he did hit up a chick I was talking to like a few weeks ago, which I'm going to say, Shaq, I'm going to keep it cute with you from here on. If you want me to go do a whole deep dive on your history, nigga, you don't want to end up like Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to just say that right now. Because as much money as you think you got, I got a lot of motherfucking time. And I'm only saying that because Shaq is playing bully in the background. He's the whatever you're hearing this nigga said. Me and Tussie got on the phone was like, yo, why this nigga hit my baby moms? Shaq, I don't know what the fuck going on with him. Just leave me alone, my nigga. I hear you getting niggas clapped. Just leave me alone, bro. Like, I want no. I'll actually try to apologize to you because I don't want to be beefing with you. I like you, like nigga. I play when I play 2K. Like, you're one of the characters I play, so let's not beef. But if you hit up another one, like another chick or doing some weird shit with me, I might have to just spend a week breaking down all the allegations that you try to get people killed. Okay? But I don't want to do that. All right? And also, the reason why your name is getting thrown up in this. Exactly. So anyway, I just had to put that out there because all that little lovable Shaq shit is like, I'm telling you, it's all cap. All cap. Like, that nigga talk like he's a Big U descendant. Except Big U broke compared to him. Like, he's rich. You know what I mean? Shaq ain't gonna bust a grape and fruit fight. But he'll pay for niggas to get you hemmed up, beat up, shot, stabbed, killed. And the funny thing, and I'm like, nigga, you know, this could be an open air. Like, Shaq, nobody's impervious. It don't matter how long you live on this earth, my nigga. They'll get you at some point. Like, just calm it down. You're a legend. You got a statue outside the fucking crypto arena. Relax. Anyway, I know how petty that nigga is, okay? I'm telling you personally, I know how petty he is. I've been trying to apologize to Shaq for like a year now on stream. The nigga is petty. And I'm telling you everything about it. And I only fell back because I realized he's been accused of getting niggas clapped. And I'm like, I like living. And I don't want Shaq using his $1 million to try to get me eliminated. Okay? Shaq, I got no problem with you. But I do think some of Shannon's problems, probably, Shaq is the type of nigga who will put money in the streets to fuck with his ops. So this whole Shannon Sharpe shit, and I'm going to play you the audio. Wait, hold on. We already just played the audio. Let me play the audio again. Like, Matt Barnes runs the whole podcast. Why the hell Matt Barnes sounded like he's Lil Woody on the phone? Why are you saying this?
I don't know if you're on this kind of time, but I was in a group chat the other day, or actually just yesterday, and Shaq said he's paying top dollar for any information on old boy. So, again, I don't know if you're on that kind of time or not, but Shaq is known to throw large sums of money around, so just want to put that out there. I am quiet. Hey, he said, please keep it quiet. He said that Shannon did some shit back to him a while back, and he's been off him. So that's why he's doing this, but please keep his name quiet.
Okay. So let's get into this.
Shaq said, you took me sticking up for Shay as jealousy of Joker shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. That's not what I did. But anyway, so here's the clickbait for you. If I ain't ranked in the top 10 in your profession, then you can't speak. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you're at. Me jealous sounds like you jealous. I know you're trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people in case you forgot 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50, top 75. And to be quite frank, all this success you got still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but according, I work less, but not blah, blah, blah. But anyway, love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this ish. Love always. The most dominating big man ever. Never took it serious. Remember, I know you and you know words of Skip better, so I'm better than you. Hashtag G14 classification. I have it. You don't. Not in my profession.
Wait, when that happened?
He just about 10 minutes ago.
Shannon, that's the moment you fucked up. Trust. Take my word, my nigga. I guarantee somebody found out the bitch he was fucking. Because nobody knew you was fucking this girl. Somebody found her, not saying Shaq, and somebody got in her ear. And I'm telling you it's one of your ops. I'm telling you this. Unless you want to be in the land of coincidences. I don't think you want to be in that land. Shannon, one thing I realized when I was reading the lawsuit against you, you old. You hella old. What I mean by that is not in age, is that I don't even think you're green. Is that you just don't know how younger people are thinking. Because your mind ain't programmed to that. So a lot of things you were doing, you were moving like an old nigga. It's not, again, not age, but your actions with things, your demeanor towards whatever. Also, Shannon, I'm giving you a light warning. By the way, I'll just keep it. Shannon, he ain't never going. Well, it'll take about 10 years or like 5 years. You'll hear him admit what I'm about to tell you now. He gonna tell y'all at some point that the niggas who he was beefing with, like, or having friendly competition with, they were playing another game. Shannon, you see when Skip Bayless and Charles Barkley are going at each other, it's not just words. These are all millionaires going at each other. They're all playing a dirty game. And if they could expose you, get you to lose your job, trick you out of your position, they will. You thought you and Shaq getting into it, you probably brush it off as, man, because I hear you in the clip. You're like, I don't know why Shaq, I still think he's a phenomenal. Shaq was trying to line you up from back then. Now, I'm not saying Shaq did this because I have no proof. But I'm pretty sure a couple dots are connecting today for Shannon. Old Uncle Shay Shay. Watch how he talks about this. And this is how you know you're oblivious. Because I was oblivious. I was just like, Shaq ain't mad at me. Then I realized he was. I'm like, wait, how did Shaq... Shaq hit up a chick that had 300 followers and her page was on private. DM'd her. 4 weeks ago. It's a new chick I'm talking to. 4 weeks ago. 300 followers. I don't date popular chicks. Shaq in her DMs. She even came to me. She was like, did you say something? Like, there's a couple blue checks in my like DMs and stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, the chick, it was in Spanish. She don't know who Shaq was. She says, this guy is DMing me. She showed me the phone. Shaq! Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Bro, her page private and she got 305. Shaq! Yo, let me tell you this. This is why I've been apologizing to Shaq. Like, I've been trying to get cool with him, but I don't know what, like, nigga, just because. Anyway, Shannon, what I'm trying to tell you, when I say that story, I'm trying to tell you, I don't think you thinking that deep into it. And that's exactly why you get lined up. Because not only he don't fuck with you, you are also kind of seen in the same competitive league as him. And of course, I think that nigga will line you up. Shaq a slimy nigga.
Wait, Shaq in the chat?
No, he on IG. I've never professed. I've never professed that I was as great as Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say,
yes, sir,
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. Now,
yes,
Shaq has been the one that said that he didn't work as hard. He did.
You see, he think this is about basketball still. Shaq is telling probably Matt Barnes and all his dude boys, yo, I got 100 bands if y'all get me some info, or maybe 200 bands. Shaq's a billionaire. He might be like, I got $500,000 if y'all get me some info on this fuck nigga. Yo, get me a proof that he's really gay. Get me the video of him sucking some dick. Allegedly. If Shaq put all the effort he's putting into beefing with ops and getting at bitches that he put into the NBA, he would have had 20 rings. That's a fact.
Didn't train as hard. He didn't eat as well as he should have.
Right.
Shaq is the one that anytime someone wins an MVP, he talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash. Now, you guys have heard me speak glowingly. I say Travis Kelce is better tight end than I was. So was Gronk. So was my guy, what's his name? For the Chargers. Antonio Gates, Gonzo, Big Winslow. I'm cool. I got no problem. You know why I got no problem, Ocho, with giving people credit?
Right.
Because I got everything out of my God-given ability. God gave.
I ain't gonna lie, Shannon. You thought this was about basketball. Y'all don't see Shaq on TNT? You think Shaq on there is just talking X's and O's, bro? Bro, Shaq doesn't live the life of like the greatest life, my nigga. You think he give a fuck about these basketball players? Shaq up there who's 55, or I don't know how old he is. He still think he's 30, bro. Like, that money gonna make you feel like that. Yo, Shannon, apologize to Shaq with me. Yo, Shaq, I'm gonna apologize for Uncle Shay Shay, okay? I'm gonna apologize for Uncle Shay Shay. Because he wasn't familiar with your game. I got familiar with your game. So, Shaq, I apologize for Uncle Shay Shay. Anyway. All right. So Shannon is out at ESPN. But people are definitely bringing up videos that's showing that Shannon was bugging. He was starting to feel himself. For example, they're bringing back up this clip of when Katt Williams was on the show, and Katt Williams was talking about Jonathan Majors and how a white woman took down his career. And I get it. Gabriela Zuniga isn't a white woman. She's actually from Spain. She's Spanish. But the lack of melanin, people do kind of put her in that thing of being a white woman, especially how she speaks about black people. You know you're not someone that fucks with black people when you're saying, put a black baby in me. Like, you know, you're almost making it. No. Like, even if you would say, put a mixed baby in me. Like, no, you're just saying, put a black baby in me. It's almost like you're kind of caricaturing the entire situation. Listen to what Katt Williams said to him.
Want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, Cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Want to get what...
Katt Williams might have got this one wrong. I think they took down Shannon Sharpe in 1 weekend. We ain't get to the second weekend yet. We didn't get to the second weekend yet, chat. We did not get to the second weekend yet. It wasn't 2 weekends. It was 1.
A white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, Cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, Cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Want to...
Now, these clips are surfacing as well. Here we go.
I was talking about date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right there.
Where y'all at? Hey, chat, where they at?
Hold on. Cause you know I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
I keep it on me. You want to date your what?
I want to date my wage. not my age. I want to date my wage. So where are they? Because y'all always talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight, boy.
Everybody always talk about date your age.
Now, I didn't know this was an ongoing conversation. I've never seen Shannon with a woman. I thought they said he always was with this gay stylist. But apparently people knew that he was hanging around young women. And, I mean, I don't even want to get into that conversation, even though a lot of people had conversations about it. Like, for example, Charlemagne actually spoke about it, and he kind of called out Shannon a bit by saying, yo, bro, let's see, Charlemagne. He spoke about it and basically was just like, here we go.
Because she was of age, so even though she was 19, that's not against the law.
This is a very, very messy situation. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I have no idea why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19, 20-year-old. I know y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old, you should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business. We need discipline and stability. That's I ain't talking about.
Yo, shout out to Uncle Charla. You see, my man Uncle Charlotte, he been through the gamut as well. You know what I realized? Some of the things that he came out on the other side, gladfully, successfully, but he came on the other side realizing that he might be right. At a certain point, you getting all this money, you're doing good for yourself, you're feeding your family, you're setting aside money for generations to come, you got all type of great things, building businesses. At some point, you got to check out the whole game. Go get one loyal chick who going to hold you down, not backstab you, not going to set you up, and ride off in the sunset with her. That's what Charlemagne did. Charlemagne used to brag about cheating on his wife. Then when shit got real, he married his wife. Used to be listening to Brilliant Idiots. He'd be like, yo, he said, I ain't cheating 3 years. I'm like, damn. You know what got him in that mode? Getting into some real shit. And I ain't gonna lie. For a while, I was like, man, how they done got... Man, light-skinned Charlotte a little different. But I'm now realizing light-skinned Charlotte is smart as shit. I think a lot of us believe that we get all this money and fame to be able to slang dick at a rapid pace and fuck as many girls as you want until you realize that same mentality becomes a thing that hurts your career. It becomes the women you deal with and associate with that now start saying shit about you or alleging shit that now your career is in jeopardy and your livelihood is in jeopardy. So I know you want to have your cake and eat it too, but which one you want? Do you want just the women or you want the fame and the money that could help all your family? Because now you got 50 people depending on you and you get to realize, man, go sit your ass in the corner. It ain't about date your age and date your wage. It seems like you just need to have some dick discipline and just get with a chick that just ain't going to do all this. Because if you fucking, here's the thing. Yo, I be saying this. Instagram be looking like a menu. When you popping, Instagram look like a menu. Every time you, like, I be looking like, man, Mark Zuckerberg know me like the back of my hand. Every time I refresh, it be 40 women who looks like my type of woman that I like. So it's like you just almost end up. But here's the thing. You don't know these people. Half the time, the people who you're dealing with, they're not interested in you. They might even have a man already or maybe a pimp, who knows. And then they start looking at you just as a dollar sign and they start thinking about extracting money out of you. And if you're not willingly giving them what they want because escorting seems like the thing now or tricking, word to these rappers, some of them might start lining you up.
Just Shannon, I'm just talking about all of us in general. Men need discipline and stability. Find you one woman and settle your ass down, okay?
I agree with you, but it's not against the law. He can as long as the person's over a certain age, it is not against the law. So legalities, that's not against the law.
I'm with you.
It don't feel right, but for himself, it's not against the law.
I'm with you. I'm just saying a 54-year-old man is supposed to be laid up with his wife and kids somewhere. Hell, maybe even have a couple of grandkids. I don't want to be chasing no young girls.
Because what are the conversations like? What are the conversations? If I'm 54 and you 20.
That's what I thought about. Like, what do y'all even talk about?
I don't agree with
signs of a stroke.
But all I'm gonna say is when you see all these white people do it, Leo DiCaprio, Seinfeld, Hugh Hefner, Joaquin Phoenix, John Mayer, when they date young girls. Nobody says anything. I'm not saying it's right, but it's not against the law.
But I saw Shannon with Andrew Schultz, and he was just talking.
I actually don't believe it's about the age, actually. I think it's about this idea that, yo, I'm going to keep fucking women and having them be replaceable. Like, I think at a certain point, you don't got to get married, but you got to just consolidate and fuck with somebody who is going to be there for you and be a little bit loyal. Because what happens is if you keep thinking, because I think that's what Shannon was thinking, right? Let me fuck with this girl here. Let me fuck with this. Oh, I see another chick on OnlyFans. At some point, you're going to get some chick that's going to line you up. Like, for example, did y'all hear how he was speaking about Scott Bree? Right? Listen to how he was speaking about Scott Bree. Here we go. It's like he just found the way he was gushing in this clip is like he just found Instagram Explore page. And all his Explore page was OnlyFans chicks. So now he's like a kid in a candy store. And this is a grown-ass man. He's in his 50s.
You know who Scott Bree is, Ocho?
Scott Bree? Who that is, Coach?
Yeah. How I do it.
Hey, Scott, I mean, who is that? Help me out.
You know what I'm saying? She little something. She might be famous for vertical activity that she good at.
She a hooper?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Who she play for? Who she play for?
She got her own little thing,
Huh?
You said, man, y'all need to stop, man. Y'all be on that bull jive, man.
Hold on. Who she play for?
Back in the day, she could have been on my team.
She played for on her back.
You know who Scott Bree is, Ocho?
Scott Bree? Who that is, Coach?
Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I forgot Scott Bree hit me up back in the day. So I was like, Scott Bree. So my DMs is open with her. I hit her ass and I said, yo, you ain't lying my nigga Uncle Shay Shay up, did you? And she said, I got no idea who that is, to be honest. That clip of him talking about me is like a year old. I'm getting so many DMs and comments saying I'm the one who's suing him. Like TMZ just reached out. But no, it wasn't me. Now, granted, I know it's not her suing him. But I was trying to figure out, on some kind of messy shit. I'm trying to figure out, like, yo, you fuck Unc? You know what I mean? But she's saying she never met him, which just tells me Shannon Sharpe was basically a horny dog off the leash that was on Instagram seeing all these beautiful women that might be doing OnlyFans and probably was thinking, damn, shit, if I just trick on them for like $2,000 to $5,000, I could get some pussy. And he was just thinking he was a kid in a candy store, except when you run into one that at some point somebody says, yo, wait, hold on. He's only doing that for you? You know this nigga's about to get $100 million. It turns into a lot of things different. You get what I'm saying?
Real, Ocho.
Listen to Ray J speak on the matter. This is crazy.
Yo, Shannon Sharpe, bro, like, I seen that, like, I was looking at, like, everything that's going on. Maybe I'm tripping, but, like, she told you to do some bondage stuff. I remember when I did Love and Hip Hop and Princess had me in the bondage room, I had the ball in my mouth, pause. They had me tied up and she was whipping me and beating me and shit. And then, they wanted me to do that. I'm like, look, I don't do all that. It was choking. It was all kind of crazy shit going on in there. It was weird and it was painful and I hated it, right? It seemed like that's what y'all was doing. Then all of a sudden when you get kinky with it, like, I'm going to choke you outside. I'm into it now. After she done tied you up, whipped you, put a butt plug in you or whatever what it was that got you going, which is to each his own. And I didn't mean the butt plug. That's not okay. Now she trying to use it again. Yo, Shannon Sharpe, bro, like, I seen that, like, I was looking at, like, everything that's going
for hundreds of thousands of dollars. ESPN contributor Shannon Sharpe announced Thursday he's stepping away from the network as he faces a $50 million lawsuit on allegations that he raped a woman who he had a relationship with. While he contends with that suit, additional incidents from his past have come to light. Before Shannon Sharpe's time at ESPN, where he was the co-host of FS1's Undisputed, he was accused of choking a female production assistant in the workplace. Two sources with knowledge of the incident tell Front Office Sports. One source says Shannon and Fox settled with the accuser for several $100,000. There was no lawsuit filed against Shannon Sharpe in the incident. A rep for Shannon Sharpe told Front Office Sports there was no incident of choking involving Shannon Sharpe on the FS1 set. On one occasion, he and a few colleagues were involved in some light physical interaction in a playful context. Fox Sports later chose to resolve the matter privately. For further details, we recommend contacting Fox directly. A Fox Sports spokesperson declined to comment prior to the statement from Sharpe's camp and could not be immediately reached for a follow-up. Sharpe co-hosted Undisputed from 2016 to 2023, which is 7 years. The timing of the incident was unknown. In 2010, Sharpe briefly stepped away from his role on CBS NFL Today studio show. After he was accused of sexual assault, he returned to the network after a restraining order was dismissed. Earlier this week, a woman filed a lawsuit in Nevada accusing Sharpe of raping her. The woman, represented by attorney Tony Busby, who has previously filed lawsuits against Deshaun Watson, Jay-Z, and Diddy, said in the lawsuit that when she was 19, she met Sharpe at a gym in 2023. Sharpe is now 56. He was 54 then, by the way. The lawsuit claimed that the two had a consensual relationship that grew tense when Sharpe went on Instagram Live last October having sex with another woman. Okay? Sharpe said it was by accident. Busby later released audio of Sharpe threatening to choke the accuser, and Sharpe's lawyer, Lanny Davis, has claimed that Sharpe and the plaintiff engaged in role-playing. By the way, it's very interesting, and, that's kind of what this reminds me of? Andrew Tate, BDSM. I think he spoke about this because he said like some of the things he got accused of, like, for example, he's on tape like beating a woman, but he says no, it's not him beating a woman, it's role playing. Actually, the woman herself, she came out and said this.
Hi, I'm pretty sure many of you have seen a video of Andrew Tate beating up a woman.
There's a video from 10 years ago that showed me in a sexual act with one of my ex-girlfriends.
And I'm pretty sure not so many of you have seen the same woman coming forward with a statement saying it was nothing but a sex play. So here I am again for the second time. Yes, the woman he has beaten up, and the same woman who has made a statement is me. So I'm coming forward for the second time to just clarify and let everybody know it was nothing but a sex play. Consensual foreplay that we like doing, that I was into, that I wanted. It was not abuse. There was no physical domestic violence happening. It was a consensual sex play. This is the second time I'm making this statement because I'm getting sick and tired of being tagged saying I need to come forward again, even though I did. And I don't like seeing injustice of him being called woman beater for the same video that I've already.
Now, clearly, she's saying I was down with the kinkiness. It wasn't him beating my ass. This was role playing. Obviously, in the Shannon Sharpe situation, the woman is saying him threatening me and some other context, no. Like, yeah, we did do role playing, but no, it went much further than that, right? So, let me see if we had the Andrew Tate, him explaining the BDSM stuff. Because I think he did try to. Okay, I can't really find it. But that's kind of... that's kind of how Andrew Tate kind of, like, people use it to be like, oh, that's evidence of him doing some sex trafficking. Look, he has these women tied up. He's beating them. And he's like, no, that's some kinky shit. So really, some of this kinky shit that could be taken out of context when, I don't know, maybe you and the girl don't get along no more and now she don't like you or whatever the case is, or shit, now the government want to give you a sex trafficking charge for whatever reason. This kinky play where, like, you're choking a girl or beating her up could look different depending on when, right? Here we go. Busby later. Okay, cool. It's her opinion that this is a classic case of blackmail. This is what Lanny Davis says. The plaintiff demanded tens of millions of dollars in a proceeding called mediation in return for her not publishing this tape. So look like her thing was, I'm going to drop this tape. Davis said that Sharpe had offered at least $10 million to sell the lawsuit before it was filed, and they were blindsided when talks broke down and news of the lawsuit broke in the media. So, again, this is what I keep saying. I agree with Mace. There's a pimp involved. Like, who turns down just $10 million? She don't have a pot to piss in. And negotiations he's already offering $10 million, which means look like he's down to give some bread. How does it just immediately break down to the point where you're exposing him and you're filing this lawsuit? Maybe, or let me be fair. Maybe they thought it was going to be the same thing that happened to Diddy, because remember they said Cassie was asking Diddy for money, like $30 million. Diddy said, fuck no. As soon as he filed the lawsuit, or she filed the lawsuit, Diddy came paying in 24 hours. You remember that? Cassie, 24 hours, Diddy settlement, right? Y'all remember that? Because at first, he was not like, apparently they were talking in private, he wasn't going to pay. And then as soon as the lawsuit was filed, the shit got settled. Look, why did it look?
I really don't feel like...
Wait, what is this? Yeah, he has settled really quickly.
And right now we're following breaking news tonight and what appears to be a huge development in the lawsuit involving Sean Combs. Moments ago, word coming out that Combs and R&B singer Cassandra Ventura have settled the lawsuit. Both sides releasing statements moments ago saying they agreed to resolve the matter amicably. The settlement comes one day after word of the lawsuit was filed, where she accused him of sexual assault. She claims while the two were dating, Combs raped her and forced her to have sex with male prostitutes.
Interesting. Okay. Says at this juncture, I'm electing to step aside. You know what people also pointed out? They said if you look at Shannon Sharpe's message, so let's go to Shannon's page. They're saying, why the hell did Shannon just take a screenshot of a message sent to him? They're like, Shannon forgot to write this where it was blue. So this is gray, meaning somebody sent this statement to him. And they're like, he just took a screenshot of the PR sending a statement to him rather than at least writing it himself. Like, nigga, at least copy and paste it to your notes. This makes it seem like this just came into your phone. You know what I mean? And they're saying, they're like, his lawyers watching him just take a screenshot of what the PR said and put it up there. Yeah, this was clearly sent to him, right? My statement is found here. This is the truth, right? Looked like he cropped out everything else. Oh, man. Look at this. Shannon Sharpe screenshot. Look. Wait. This is Shannon Sharpe lawyers watching him post a screenshot of their PR statement. They're like, yo, Unk is still unking, man. Oh, man. They're like, oh, nah, don't tell me Unk is still unking, bro. Say it ain't so. Anyway.
And make its assessment whether this is the normal and natural behavior of somebody who was blackmailed to offer the money and then to talk about it later, that the money was offered in a failed attempt to avoid the thing that the blackmailer said the blackmailer was going to do, or whether an offer of $10 million at some level suggests that maybe he had a reason unrelated to not being blackmailed to offer the $10 million. Either way, I think that having that number out there raises the stakes. It makes it a bigger deal. And I think it it fairly requires ESPN to take a closer look at this since they put him on their air. And there's surely a clause, I would assume. I don't know. Haven't seen his contract. There's got to be language in there, though, if it's anything like my contract, that there are certain lines you cross in your private life, and you got a problem with your contract with ESPN. And to the extent that he's shopping his podcast, his deal with the volume is up. There's been a suggestion it's a nine-figure, $100 million deal that might be done. I just think that there's due diligence that now needs to be exercised, knowing what we know. And in the effort to create whatever impression Lanny Davis hopes to create by sharing with the world that at least $10 million was offered before the case was filed, all I'm saying is I'm not sure it's going to go that way. And I appreciate the fact that he acknowledges it's my opinion, that I'm not stating any fact. I'm sharing the fact that Davis said at least $10 million was offered. It's my opinion that the average person who hears, I didn't do anything, this is all made up, I'm being blackmailed, and who hears, oh, by the way, I offered at least $10 million. It's not the easiest mental gymnastics routine to engage in to come to the conclusion that the offer of $10 million is consistent with the normal, usual, routine behavior of someone who was approached with a proposition that they regard as blackmail. That's all I have to say about the matter for now. But I can tell based upon the interest that's out there, the reaction to the prior video I did, the traffic that our stories on this is doing, this is something that people are naturally interested in. They want to see how this goes. This happens all the time. There are different cases that pop up that capture our interest and our attention, and it feels like this is going to be one of those. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how it goes, but as it unfolds.
Now, what compounds this is that they're looking at Shannon Sharpe like, I don't look at him any type of way, but they're looking at him like, bro, you have a history of this. They're actually looking at him like Deshaun Watson. Remember I told you, when you dig a hole, dig two. Because what's compounded this is that, like, 15 years ago, he was working for CBS. And he caught an allegation of sexual assault. And I think he had left CBS. But now they're saying, bruh, this ain't the first time? Let's go back to this.
I'm Christy Duffy for Smart Trend News, and yet another shocking sports-related rape case. CBS sports analyst and former NFL tight end Shannon Sharpe took a, quote, leave of absence after accusations surfaced that he had allegedly raped and threatened to kill a woman. According to legal documents obtained by Sports by Brooks, Sharpe's accuser claimed that the renowned tight end, quote, forced her to have sex with him, threatens her life, and, quote, places her under surveillance and calls to say he is watching her. Sharpe joined CBS in 2004 after finishing his 13-year NFL career. When he retired, he held the all-time record for receiving yards for all tight ends. Smart Trend is bullish on shares of CBS, and our subscribers were alerted to buy September 2nd when her stock was at a price of $14.83 per share. The stock has risen near 4% since that alert was issued. I'm Christy Duffy for Smart Trend News. For further updates, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Trade the Trend. Also visit our website, tradethetrend.com, for more on our Smart Trend alert system.
Now, you know who's also give great commentary about this?
Blah, blah, blah. What's up, y'all? It's
Marcellus
Squally Dad,
He's done a good
dude.
job.
It's over for Shannon Sharpe at ESPN for now. I repeat, for now. So I'm at an investors conference and I was listening to some pitches, decided to take a break, went to the bar to hydrate, opened up my phone, and boom, Shannon's X account has this screenshot. Quote, my statement is found here and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I've received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. Shannon Sharpe. Wow. Kaboom. A lot of conversation about would Shannon Sharpe be able to keep his job throughout this litigation process. We now know that answer. What happened? What changed the hearts? What changed the minds of those ESPN executives? Because when the allegations first hit, Shannon Sharpe was allowed to still come on air. Something changed. We'll talk through that. But first, I want you guys to all know, what did Shannon Sharpe sign on to when he signed to go to ESPN? Here's their conduct policy. You will act at all times with due regard to public morals and conventions. You shall refrain from any offensive or distasteful remarks or conduct in the production and broadcast of the programs. If in at any time you shall do or have done any act or thing that would amount to a felony or misdemeanor under federal, state, or local laws, or which tends to bring you or us into public disrepute, scandal, or ridicule, or which might insult or offend the community or substantial group thereof, or which might reflect unfavorably on us or injure the success of the programs, we shall have the right to terminate this agreement at any time before the expiration of 30 days after the date on which we acquire knowledge thereof. Just wanted to clarify for everybody out there, there was a 30-day clock that started the day that ESPN found out about these allegations in terms of enforcing their conduct policy. So now, let's get into this, because Shannon Sharpe, like everybody, was under the presumption of innocence when the allegations first hit. He actually
wait, where did he get that info? Is it from his? I think he worked for ESPN at a while, so he's reading what probably was in his shit, right?
Success of the programs or misdemeanor under. Here we go. Go to ESPN. Here's their conduct policy. Come on air. Something changed. We'll talk through that. But first, I want you guys to all know, what did Shannon Sharpe sign on to when he signed to go to ESPN? Here's their conduct policy. You will act at all times with due regard to public morals and conventions. You shall refrain from any offensive or distasteful remarks or conduct in the production and broadcast of the programs. If in at any time you shall do or have done any act or thing that would amount to a felony or misdemeanor under federal, state, or local laws, or which tends to bring you or us into public disrepute, scandal, or ridicule, or which might insult or offend the community or substantial group thereof, or which might reflect unfavorably on us or injure the success of the programs, we shall have the right to terminate this agreement at any time before the expiration of 30 days after the date on which we acquire knowledge thereof. Just wanted
so he's saying basically, if Shannon has survived 30 days, they would be bunkering down with him. But if he didn't, they got him out of here.
Clarify for everybody out there, there was a 30-day clock that started the day that ESPN found out about these allegations in terms of enforcing their conduct policy. So now, let's get into this, because Shannon Sharpe, like everybody, was under the presumption of innocence when the allegations first hit. He actually still is, but here's the problem. There are two ways to fight allegations like this. The traditional method, which you let your lawyers speak and you put out that blanket statement that says, I'm going to let due process take care of itself and we'll discuss this in the court of law, blah, 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 right? And then there's the newer model, which Jay-Z took, which is come out swinging, and not only swinging, but successfully winning that fight, getting the case dismissed, turning the plaintiff into a...
I'm glad he's saying that, because he's making a good point right here. If Shannon clearly is taking Jay-Z's approach, right? Except his lawyer isn't Alex Spiro. Second of all, Jay-Z had investigators go dig up that woman's past. They start bringing so much shit to the table that the lawyer for the woman, they were blindsided. Like, what? They were going behind the lawyer's back to go talk to the woman. It seems like Shannon don't got nothing on her but the messages. And they probably looked at all the messages already. Like the woman's lawyer, which is Busby. So unless Shannon had some other shit, I don't know, some ring camera footage, some this, some that kind of like, oh shit. it don't seem Shannon got it. Now he couldn't wait to go. He could hire some investigators to go dig up her life and figure out. I don't know. Maybe she got a gay best friend that she was talking to the whole time about. No, I'm gonna set this nigga Shannon up, and maybe that best friend not cool with her no more, and he's down to maybe he secretly recorded a video of her saying it. You don't got time for that, Shannon. It's you want that $100 million, you panicking.
Defendant in a countersuit and suing them for defamation along with the lawyer. Now that's a knockout blow. Shannon Sharpe chose the Jay-Z route. He even mentioned Jay-Z in one of his responses to these allegations. Here's the problem with the Jay-Z route, what Shannon is going through right now. Because when you go, if anybody's ever been in a fight, and you win that fight, people gonna know you still been in a fight, even if you're victorious. So ESPN didn't sign up for a fight with Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe signed on to ESPN saying everything in that conduct policy I would adhere to. So with the presumption of innocence, all of a sudden they had a change of heart, change of mind, and said, hey, we'll allow you to put out this press release. We'll allow you to mention it first. You can say we're mutually parting ways for now, whatever you want to say.
Just like I said.
But we can't continue our relationship for now. We'll see if that's forever when the NFL preseason starts. But here's the problem with it. And these are some of the missteps. And I've heard a lot of people talk about these missteps, and I discussed them as well. When you come out swinging, you got to remember they're going to fight back as well. And in this situation, leaking text messages, audio leaks of you privately going to choke her and publicly going to choke her, and even the racial elements of a black man versus a white woman and those conversations that were leaked to the public. And even Shannon's response where he said that the lawyer has a vendetta against black men and black celebrities, whatever it may be. ESPN didn't sign up for that. Disney didn't sign up for that. Those are demographics that they respect. And no matter what you caught yourself into, whatever you stepped into, Shannon Sharpe, ESPN doesn't have to step with you.
Okay, let me get Cam in here real quick. This is my man Cameron, and he's actually making a different point, but he's also saying he's going to give some tips, to men to know you're being lined up. I want to see what he's going to say.
But the first thing I took from this when I heard it was, look, he was living in California and moved to Nevada. She moved from California to Nevada too. So if somebody's being abusive to you in one state, why would you move to the next state with the same nigga who's abusing you? I don't know. Me personally, I found the red flag with that personally. And then the next thing is this sex tape that's supposedly coming out. Shannon said, put the whole 30 minutes out. Or 10 minutes, whatever it is. I guess there's some part in there for 30 seconds because brought that up. Shannon brought that up. He said, I believe he's going to release 30 seconds of it. Whatever that 30 seconds is must be nasty and violent and fucked up. If you don't want to put the whole 10 minutes and you reducing it to that 30, it must have been WWE in that joint. Elbow off the top of the bed, off the thrower against the dresser. You white little bitch. Come here, suck big black dick. Fuck you talking about? You want nigga dick? I get that part. I get it.
Yo, Cam, you know exactly how it is, niggas. Like that one scene in Paid in Full. Yo, throw that ass back! Throw that ass back! Like all of that. Yeah, that's how, Cam, you know how it is. Who remember that scene in Paid in Full? Who remember that scene? It'd be like, yo, AOB, like, yo, listen, what's the point of having soldiers if you don't use them? Because that nigga right there, yo, he's getting money and pussy. Who remember that scene?
Tell white bitches you want that nigga dick. But it's consensual. They agree. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I've been doing this in a different realm from him. I never made it as a professional athlete. I've been out here shaking and juggling these bitches since 20 years old.
Yo, this show is lit.
They agree. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I've been doing this in a different...
Yo, hey, be like, yo, what's up, man? Be like, yo, what's up? What's up, B? Yo, I'm living. You're right. That's what he said. I'm living. You know that scene. I don't even want to play. I don't even know if I can play it on here.
Realm from him. I never made it as a professional athlete. I've been out here shaking and juggling these bitches since 20 years old. I know what you up to. I know when a bitch try to bait me in a text message to say some dumb shit. I ain't writing it back. You right, and I'm not writing nothing back. You can't get me to write a damn thing back when I see what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Then you gotta know. You gotta know. See, that's the fucked up thing. It seemed like he trusted her from the conversation I heard. You gotta read the signs like,
that's a fact.
I don't want to get choked. That ain't something you usually say.
That's a fact. Yo, Killer. Yo, Killer the greatest, bro. I'll be dick around when it comes to camera, ain't it? Bitch, that ain't something you really say. I don't want. Now I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to get choked. I'm like, nah. There's no way. Unc used to be having them freaky conversations, and she sounded like that.
Thing back when I see what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Then you gotta know. You gotta know. See, that's the fucked up thing. It seemed like he trusted her from the conversation I heard. You gotta read the signs like, I don't want to get choked. That ain't something you usually say. Hold on. You don't usually talk to me like this. Why are you talking to me like this now? Yo, I'm gonna hit you back.
I'm gonna hit you back. Boom.
And then you know when shit ain't right, you be like, when you answer the phone, they be like, hello, hello, hello. They setting up. Oh, I can hear you now. They done set the call up. You gotta read all these signs, bro. And you gotta think about this, right? This is why, and a lot of people call this nigga Uncle Tom, and he don't like black people, or this, that, and the third, et cetera, et cetera. This is why Stephen A. don't get into no shit like this. And I'm gonna say none of us is above it, knock on wood, but he knows he works for Disney. When you work for Disney, a sex tape can't be coming out like this. You can't be admitting that, 30 seconds of this shit was kind of rough. I'm letting y'all know. Shit get a little wild. But Disney, like, 30 seconds get what? Yo, this Mickey Mouse in now. What you mean 30 seconds get wild? I think that Disney...
Nah, 30 seconds was crazy. Like, y'all got to see the whole thing. Like, yo, yeah, now I was going crazy with it.
He's getting a little more lenient because of shit like Pat McAfee, cursing at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. Not just that, Shannon had a little sex tape that he admitted to, nothing visual, just vocal. So I think it's a little more lenient, and I hope that Disney does keep him. I'm rooting for him because I do believe this is a shakedown. But when you start getting the video evidence and vocal evidence.
Nah, Killer the GOAT still. Now, the Breakfast Club jumped in and they said, yo, Shannon he's playing all the wrong cards.
And abuse me, daddy. And you can see when these text messages were released, you can see it says like from Gabby to owner. So it's painting a picture that their relationship was giving that, there was role play and everything that were happening. Now,
it was a very unfortunate situation.
It's crazy.
Horrible situation.
But let me ask you.
Shannon Sharpe and his lawyer have handled this whole situation terribly. First of all, if you're saying to Sharpe, you shouldn't be saying anything.
No, he shouldn't.
But Busby and this young woman got audio, video, and text messages. If you know all of those things are out there, you should shut the F up and continue to allow your lawyer to do his job. And your lawyer said out of his own mouth that you was close to a $10 million settlement with that girl. That right there is all the more reason to shut the F up. I'm not here to speak to Shannon's guilt or innocence because I don't know, but I do know attempting to settle looks like an admission of guilt because I'm not settling.
Yeah, or you're just scared.
Yeah.
Honestly, you just probably scared.
I'm with you, Charlamagne. I feel like he's being advised wrong, right? And when people go through this, they go to an attorney because the attorney usually knows what's best for them. They usually know what to do. And in this situation, like any attorney would say, shut the F up and let's deal with it in court. Let's deal with facts because you can't change public opinion unless it's in court with facts. Now, but one thing I would say, if somebody said this, but I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and you put it in my beep and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. If that didn't happen, I'm going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Nah, we agreed on this. I'm not going to be like, I'll call you later because I'm feeling like this is a setup right here.
Absolutely.
As soon as nah. Envy, you right with that. I'll be like, you fucking liar. Yo, get off my phone with that bullshit. Yo, get off my phone with this fuck shit you told me. Like, yo, bro, what are you talking about?
Me this, I'm gonna feel a little. Nobody's just gonna respond. I'll call you later. You're gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" We both agreed to this. This is part of the game. Like nobody's gonna respond with that, which scares me. But like,
yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, Uncle Shay Shay, he should have watched This by Kevin Hart. I think Shannon thought some of this freaky talk was also for outside the bedroom. I ain't gonna lie. Chat, this is a real story. I've dealt with a girl who for extreme shit talking when you with her. She would say yo, fuck me like a slut. And I'm like, but I like you. I don't want to do that. I just kind of want to make love to you type shit. I ain't gonna lie, I'm soft. It's okay. But now she was like, nah, fuck me like a slut, like a hoe. And I'm like, okay. And then she'll be giving instructions call me a bitch. So after a couple weeks, I'm like, man, take that dick, bitch. I'm over here into this shit. It wasn't until we're not having sex no more. And I'm like, yo, come here, bitch. And she was like, what? You call me bitch? What the fuck? Why you disrespecting me like that, nigga? And I'm like, wait. That's when I realized I'm like, okay. Yeah, I don't want to play this game no more. This game is not cool no more. This game ain't cool. She would say some shit. She was like, yeah, I'm daddy's slut. I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, you're daddy's slut. Yeah, okay. I'm just pounding it out. She'd be like, tell me I'm your bitch. You my bitch. And I'm piping her out. To the point that I start ad-libbing now. This is weeks in. I'm like, yo, bitch, take that fucking dick. Nigga, one time, I'm telling you, we're just chilling. We ain't doing nothing sexual. I was just like, yo, come here, bitch. You call me a bitch, nigga? Yo, what you think this is? Yo, you don't got no respect. That's why I can't fuck with you. You got no respect for me. And I'm like, I said, you know what? I don't know when to do it and when not to do it. I'm going to just stop with all that, period. Word too, bro. Man, Uncle Shay Shay needed to know and say, bro.
Like Charlamagne said, shut the F up.
Mm-hmm.
Let the facts play out in court, because right now all this talking is doing too much.
Audio.
And it's making it worse.
Even audio, and she was like, you're manipulating.
The sad thing for Shannon Sharpe is that I think he thought, as a man, the more info you put out there, and especially if you're on some sexual freaky shit, it's not going to make you look innocent. It's just going to look crazier. They're like, yo, this nigga's on some shit. Has Dr. Umar commented on the latest? We need Dr. Umar. Is Dr. Umar commenting on the latest? Man, Shannon Sharpe is already out at... he's already out at motherfucking ESPN. Oh, we're getting more information. Those close to Shannon Sharpe are adamant his relationship with the rape accuser was purely a BDSM one where the two would meet up for rough sex about once a week and nothing more. Sources close to the Pro Football Hall of Famer tells TMZ Sports on Thursday that the ex-NFL star engaged in kinky, consensual sexual activity with Jane Doe about 100 times in both Los Angeles and Nevada from late 2022 to January 2025. They insist that while the intimate encounters featured... Wait, how would your friends know you choking the shit out of her? Was he showing them the videos and shit? I don't know. How does his friends know, how y'all were fucking? I ain't gonna lie to you. I would feel a little bit weird if my friends knew exactly how I was fucking my girl. Wait, well, hold on. How do you know this shit, my nigga? They insist that while the intimate encounters featured choking and role-playing, none of it was ever non-consensual. How do they know? Or forcible sex. In fact, the sources added it was his accuser, a OnlyFans model, who requested most of the physical acts, claiming her text messages showed she'd like to be tied up and wear a dog collar in some of their time between the sheets. Numerous texts from her, they say, capture her demands, including one where she says, I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, daddy. The sources were adamant the duo's relationship never once reached boyfriend. All right, see, this is how you... Let me tell you this. Anytime a girl's trying to, say some shit about you, they're going to get 10 times madder when you're like, that wasn't even my girl. Because in her mind, those years, she was your girl. Now, granted, Shannon was fucking mad at other girls. But in her mind, she was Shannon's girl. So when Shannon's like denying that, she gets 10 times madder. She going to tell that nigga to leak something else. Holy. Yeah, that's crazy. He said Tony Busby said in a statement to TMZ Sports, someone should tell Mr. Sharpe that when you're digging yourself a hole, it would be smart to stop digging. Did he just try to steal my phrase? I said when you dig a hole, dig two. He says when you're digging a hole, just stop. What? Said the filed complaint and the audio speaks for itself. Lawyer pointed out a text his client sent to Sharpe on January 2nd that says, I don't care what our history is, Shannon. Yeah, she was lining them up from maybe December, November-ish, 2024. So you can tell from the no means no.
I knew that.
Jesus. It's bad work, chat. This is nasty work right here. What the hell? There's a photo of Will Smith going viral.